Maybe you guys from the media, because you are serious guys from the media, you should even organize a presidential debate for opposition candidates so that we can...
Wenyenchi, how are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. Now, I'm also okay. There's this story that was done by TV47, and it said that there were sharp divisions in the united opposition, with Matiang'i and Kalonzo camp having differences when it comes to flag bearer, with Matiang'i saying that scientific polls should be used, and Kalonzo saying it should be consensus by the principals. We want to check into this and see why this, why now, and what can be hidden behind the curtains. Yeah, we have to explore all the possibilities. Let's listen in.
Within the opposition camp after former cabinet secretary and all secretaries Peter Munya and Fred Matiang'i signed a cooperation agreement backing Matiang'i's presidential bid. The endorsement by Party of National Unity is expected to strengthen Matiang'i's position within the emerging United Opposition Alliance. However, sharp divisions persist over the formula to be used in selecting a single presidential flag bearer to face President William Ruto in the next election. Have a look at my house more.
The United Opposition Alliance appeared to be drifting apart on the formula to be used to pick its presidential candidate after Jubilee presidential flag bearer Fred Matiang'i called for a scientific poll to be used in selecting the opposition presidential flag bearer and not boardroom negotiations to allow Kenyans pick the candidate of their choice.
Maybe you guys from the media, because you are serious guys from the media, you should even organize a presidential debate for opposition candidates so that we come before the people of Kenya. What are we hiding? We are not looking for family leadership, we are looking for public leadership. The people of Kenya should be involved in the process all along.
The fallout over the formula to be used in picking the opposition flag bearer is said to have delayed the opposition retreat slated this past weekend, with Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka's camp opposing Matiang'i's proposal and labeling him a state project.
I strongly believe that Matiang'i is being used by the system to bring confusion in the opposition. That's what I believe. Yeye mwenyewe kama sio hiyo, he must toe the line and go with the decision of the majority. Wala vile nimasikiza kila mtu anasema wanataka Kalonzo. Kila mtu anataka Kalonzo, anataka Kalonzo. Sasa wewe maneno scientific sasa hizo ni vitu gani nataka kuletea?
The accusations came as former President Mwai Kibaki's party PNU, an affiliate party in the United Opposition Alliance, endorsed Matiang'i as its presidential flag bearer, maintaining the process has to be open and transparent.
Sasa sisi kama Jubilee na PNU tumeshikana tukasema kiongozi wetu kwa hiyo kiti ni Matiang'i. Lakini process ikifika iseme sio yeye ni mwingine na iwe ni process ya uasi, tuko tayari kuunga hiyo mkono.
With no consensus on the formula to be used in picking the opposition flag bearer, apart from Matiang'i, other opposition principals who have declared their interest for the seat is Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, DCPs Rigathi Gachagua, Eugene Wamalwa, and Martha Karua. Matiang'i's endorsement by PNU raises the stakes in the United Opposition Alliance, which is yet to agree on a formula of picking its presidential candidate to face off with President Ruto in next year's general election. Apul Kamau, TV47, Nairobi.
There was a group of businessmen who wanted to open a big supermarket together. All of them agreed on one thing: we must remove the current shop owner. Unity ilikuwa hapo. But when it came to choosing the manager, one said, let's do interviews. Another said, no, let's agree by consensus. Another quietly started talking to the landlord behind the scenes. Before the supermarket even opened, they were already fighting over who will hold the keys. Welcome to United Opposition 2027. Inside the so-called United Opposition, there's visible tension. On one side, you have Fred Matiang'i, proposing a scientific poll to determine the flag bearer. On the other side, Kalonzo Musyoka and his allies, including Enoch Wambua, prefer principles consensus model. Wambua even claims Matiang'i is being used to cause confusion by the state. Now, that's no small politics. That's early tremor politics. Let's look at this scientific poll versus consensus. What's really at play? Let's decode this calmly. Why Matiang'i would prefer scientific polls? Number one, polls give data-based this poll, it gives data-based legitimacy. And these polls favor candidates with broader national appeal. The third reason is that polls reduce backroom political bargaining. And here is the key. Matiang'i is associated with Uhuru Kenyatta's Jubilee ecosystem. If polls show he performs strongly in Kenya and parts of urban Kenya, that gives him numerical legitimacy, not just political goodwill. Now, let's try and figure out why would Kalonzo prefer consensus. It is because consensus politics favors seniority, coalition loyalty history, relationship capital, behind the scenes negotiations. Kalonzo has been in coalition politics for decades. He understands boardroom arithmetic. If principles like Rigathi Gachagua, Martha Karua, and so on lean towards him in a negotiating setting, consensus works in his favor. Polls are unpredictable. Consensus is manageable. Okay. Is Uhuru playing chess? Now let's address the spicy theory. Their claims, though they are unverified, but they are politically circulating that Uhuru is funding Linda Mwananchi tours led by Edwin Sifuna. This is because a vehicle spotted with Uhuru and Margaret's graffiti at a rally added fuel to this speculation. Let's be factual. There is no hard proof publicly that Uhuru is funding Sifuna, but politically, perception is oxygen. Now imagine this scenario. Matiang'i pushes for scientific polls. That creates friction inside united opposition. Meanwhile, Sifuna grows as an independent opposition voice. Mount Kenya becomes divided between Gachagua loyalists and the Jubilee remnants. If you are a retired political chess master trying to maintain influence, wouldn't dividing the board make sense? Just asking. Kenyan politics sometimes looks like a WhatsApp group admin war. Everyone agrees the problem is outside the group, but inside the group, admin rights are the real battle. Could this be the beginning of division? Yes, but cautiously yes. Coalitions in Kenya rarely collapse because of ideology. They collapse because of ambition. And 2027 is next year. The earlier you fight over flag bearer, the deeper the mistrust grows. Raila's coalitions often delayed the flag bearer question strategically to avoid early implosions. United opposition brings it up now. That's risky. So, is Matiang'i being used? There are three possibilities. He is genuinely positioning himself based on numbers, or he is being strategically encouraged to dilute Gachagua's dominance in Mount Kenya by using the Jubilee Party, or he believes polls favor him and wants objective validation. All three can be true at the same time. Politics is rarely binary. Let's look at the Mount Kenya and the Central region. If Matiang'i splits Central region with Gachagua, that is, if the Jubilee Party splits Mount Kenya with Gachagua's DCP, then Gachagua loses monopoly leverage, and once you lose monopoly leverage in coalition talks, your bargaining power drops. That benefits anyone negotiating behind the scenes. Let's look at the bigger picture. Right now, united opposition is united by one thing: removing Ruto. But unity built on a common enemy is fragile. Unity built on shared vision is durable. The question is, do they have a shared vision or just a shared frustration? Is this the beginning of a crack? Maybe. Is Uhuru stretching 4D chess? Possibly, but unproven. Is ambition already destabilizing united opposition? Definitely. Kenyan politics doesn't wait for election year to divide. It starts dividing the moment someone whispers, "Flag bearer." And 2027 whispers have already begun. If you enjoy this kind of deep political decoding, not propaganda, not rumors, but structured analysis with Kenyan flavor, subscribe to HiiStory, because in Kenyan politics, the real drama is never on stage. It's always behind the curtains. Bye.